Hey y'all, Pastor Jeremy and Pastor Felicia here with our midweek message. We wanted to share with you about some of our upcoming Lenten intro offerings that we're putting together for the congregation this year. The first of which will be a Mardi Gras celebration at Illusion Brewery Company, 3 miles down the street on Thompson Run from the church. Mardi Gras is something deeply special to me as someone who grew up on the Gulf Coast. It's a leftover of French influence on the Louisiana territory, and it comes as the last day before the Lent kickoff. So Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, is the celebration where you indulge. It comes culturally out of sort of the need to get rid of all the sugar and the fat and the oil and the butter in the house before you reach Lent. So you would throw these massive parties. And today it lives on as a cultural touchstone in the Gulf Coast region of the United States, with celebrations, with parades. You've seen the beads, the masked balls, and the centerpiece of one of those balls would be the king cake. So for our Mardi Gras Fat Tuesday celebration at the brewery down the street, I've gotten us an authentic king cake from the oldest, it's a like 3-pound cake, from the oldest continually operating bakery in New Orleans. So I got you the real deal.
There you go.
We'll gather down there from 6:30 to approximately 8. Everyone's welcome. There's no age restriction. And I'll share some of that culture from my home, but also sort of set up a conversation around what is Lent to a Baptist.
Yes.
And so once you do Fat Tuesday and you get all of your indulging out of the way, we kick over to Ash Wednesday.
Yes. Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of Lent, and I know that during the past years, North Hills has celebrated or commemorated or observed this tradition. We know that in some other churches, for example, the high churches like the Presbyterians or the Lutherans or the Episcopalians, and of course the Catholic Church observes this special service. As you know, the season of Ash Wednesday, it starts with recognizing that we are human beings, that we are mortals. As I said before in other reflections, we have an expiration date. So it expresses our mortality. And we normally read verses, especially if we start in Genesis chapter 3, verse 19, where it says, "For dust you are, and to dust you will return." Of course, if you have participated in any Ash Wednesday service, you know that when you come up front, we put on ash, and obviously in the shape of a cross, which reminds us that, again, that our bodies will deteriorate, but also it symbolizes that during this time is a time for mourning or for penance. So we have many scripture verses, especially in the Hebrew Bible and also in the New Testament, that speak of the time where we feel sad, where we feel heartbroken. And a way to express that grief is to put ashes on our heads. So again, you can read the book of Jonah as a good example of that. Also, you can read the book of Esther. And there is a specific passage there in Esther where the people of Israel were very disheartened about the edict of the king, which decided that it was his decision to exterminate the Jewish population. So as a response to that, in chapter 4, verse 3, it says, "In every province to which the edict and order of the king came, there was great mourning among the Jews, with fasting, weeping, and wailing. Many lay in sackcloth and ashes." But also it's important to understand that Pastor speaks about Fat Tuesday. I think these are very specific landmarks that lead us from indulging ourselves and all we can eat to where we land on Ash Wednesday, where there's a time or a mark that says, okay, now here's where we need to stop. Here is where we need to proceed and understand that there is a whole bigger story about the season of Lent, especially because we normally tend to skip the passion narratives. We normally don't talk about so much about perhaps maybe Monday, Thursday. Good Friday, we say a little bit, but Holy Saturday, we really don't say much about it when we tend to skip until we get to Resurrection Sunday. So I think it's an opportunity for folks this time that we follow this calendar that gives us a better understanding of why Jesus did the things that he did as the anointed one, as the Messiah. So Pastor, we hope that folks can actually come to this event.
Yep, on March 4th, we'll start at 6:30 at Illusion Brew Company.
And then Ash Wednesday, we start on March 5th. Mark that on your calendar, March 5th here at North Hills Community Baptist Church. It will not be live streamed. So you can also have this opportunity to invite friends and family to come to this event. So we hope to see you. And Pastor, anything else?
That Felicia makes a really good point, that we are always tempted to jump to Easter. This year, as we explore the ethics of Jesus, the teachings of Jesus, how he expects others to live, we need to lock in on Holy Week, where the fullness of Jesus' ethics plays out. Jesus shows us exactly what it means to follow the way of the cross and the way of the kingdom. So it's an invitation this year to something deeper. We hope you'll find a way to participate.
All right. Thank you so much, and God bless.